Good morning, it's Kimberly Sherry, International Energy Healer, helping you lead a life of wealth without worry. Welcome on this rainy spring day. This is beautiful here in California, but it is rainy, so spring is still springing. Today I wanted to talk about chasing the spiritual experience. So this is for people who have maybe had a really profound spiritual experience in the past, and now they're trying to make it happen again. So let me share with you what I mean. I'll share with you an experience that I had, and so you might relate to this. So this was when I was still married. I was still a Jehovah's Witness, and I remember being upstairs reading a self-help book. And at the time I was really struggling. I was really having a hard time. And I remember, so when you have a spiritual experience, you know it's a spiritual experience. In other words, spirit is involved in the situation, the outcome, in the experience, so that more than one thing is happening at a time. So say for instance, hey Clifford, thanks for coming on. So in this particular case, there were three things that simultaneously happened that let me know that this was something important to pay attention to. So the first thing that happened is I started to smell hey Tadea, I started to smell like this old lady perfume, and I smelled my hair and my clothes, and I couldn't find it. It wasn't me. And I went back to reading, and then I smelled it again. And then simultaneously, two other things happened. So I had a sensation of someone gently petting my hand with the simultaneous thought in my head that said, "You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job." And I just broke into tears because I could feel this presence. I could feel this help and support from the spiritual realm. And so this helped me to know that I was being supported, I was on the right path, and that I wasn't alone. And so the reason I'm even bringing this up, why this even came to mind, is I've been working with a lot of clients lately who feel disconnected from the spiritual realm. And so the layer that this exists in is the 10th layer of your aura. So this is where between 10 and 12, where you connect to the spiritual realm. You connect with the angels, you connect with your spirit guides and the ascended masters, etc. And so if this layer is congested, hey Kimberly, it's gonna make it really hard for you to connect to the spiritual realm. Like you might feel like your prayers aren't being answered, or like God's not listening, and nobody cares. The spiritual realm is not there, and they don't care about you because your prayers didn't feel answered. And so this can make someone feel really alone in their journey. And so that's why I want to talk about this, because you only need one of these experiences in your lifetime to know what's actually out there trying to help and support you. So a lot of times, hey Lorraine, a lot of times people will have one of these kinds of experiences, and then they just keep on chasing for more, chasing for more. Hey Sarah. And they, so it's like they keep chasing after this spiritual experience. And the truth is that it only needs to happen once for you to know what's out there, what's, all the things that are surrounding you, all the time supporting you and giving you help. I know that when I was in the Amazon jungle working with ayahuasca, I had the opportunity to be able to see what's on the other side of the veil. So that medicine actually helps you, it takes away things so that you can see much further than you can just on a regular basis. And so I got to see a lot of the actual spirits. Hey today, that's great, thank you. I got to actually see what some of these spirits looked like, and because I was on a different dimension on this plant medicine. So I've actually physically seen what's on the other side of this very thin veil, which is getting thinner and thinner. So I really wanted to just share that with you so that you can know. And if you've ever had a spiritual experience, maybe you could put something in the comments about, briefly what it was. And I think that, the more people that know that they've had an experience and other people have had an experience like that, that it becomes much more real. Like the spiritual realm is very real, at least it is to me. And once you start to expand your energy, expand your awareness, your consciousness, you're going to be more aware of these guides and how much you're being helped and supported. So I really wanted to share that. And I also wanted to share another experience I had once, because this is another way that spirit can kind of show up. And I had remembered reading about someone's experiences where, they were stuck on the side of the road and somebody showed up and they were all dressed in white and they helped them out. And then, they walked away and the person maybe looked the other direction. And when they looked back, the person was gone. It was just like poof. And so that was like divine intervention. And something like that happened to me as well. I remember, and this was all about the same time as that other experience. I remember going up for a hike up in the hill. We lived up at the end of a road that was up in against open space. And so I used to love going on hikes up there and run. So I was up running on this trail, and I see this man just standing on the side of the trail. It was a very wide part, almost as big as a fire road. Not quite that big, but anyway, a wide open space. And he was just standing there. And as I was starting to run past him, he pointed down and I think he said something like, "Look out, there's a snake." And so I literally jumped over the snake to avoid it. and so, I turned back and I said something to the man, thanked him, or I don't even remember now what it was that I said. But I kept, running, and I looked back, and the man was gone. And so I think it's kind of interesting, the metaphor of the snake, that he was like trying to warn me of danger. And so it was not only happening in this one little instance, but it was like spirit telling me that I'm here to help warn you of danger, and that you're not alone, and that if you just listen to these external things, that you'll be able to hear when Spirit's warning you, guiding you, directing you. And so this is really important, to be able to listen to what Spirit is, how they're directing you. And it's to really help you to know that you're never alone. That's the biggest message I wanted to bring today, is that you're never alone. So as you go out into this weekend, think about maybe a spiritual experience that you've had in the past, so that you can be reminded that you're never alone and that Spirit is always guiding and directing you. And all you have to do is ask. We don't have to do anything to prove our worth, to prove our value. We just have to ask, and they're ready and willing to help us at any time. So that's my message for this Friday's inspiration. And, if you're curious, if you have a some blocked energy that's preventing you from really connecting to the spiritual realm, it'd be really good to have a session with me. That's really where I can really dive into some of those deeper things that are going on. But it all starts with a personal vibrational temperature report, where I measure 30 different things, and then you can have a better idea of where you're at, and then I'll know where you're at. So I do that before I ever work with anyone. It's the best place to start, and then you get a better idea of my gifts and what I'm able to tell. So I do this without ever talking to you, without seeing a picture of you, without knowing anything about you. And so I'm going to leave a link for that if that's something you're interested in, to be able to find out how you can step into more of your ultimate power, because that's what these spirit guides do, is they help you. These spirit guides help amplify your power by helping you know more things that you wouldn't otherwise. So my daughter's telling me something about two experiences a few days after learning of my aunt's and her nephew's passing. So yes, my daughter's just sort of reminding me about an experience she had after my aunt passed. So it would be her great aunt. And my aunt basically helped like come through her, because she was an avid piano player, composer, and helped my daughter create this beautiful song that she just created, just like downloaded from start to finish, and was able to create a beautiful remembrance of my aunt with a bunch of like a slideshow, and this music was the background to the whole slideshow. And it was just so beautiful, so heartwarming. Thank you, Tanea. That was so beautiful. And everybody in the family really appreciated it. So yes, that's another example of how spirit can come through. So maybe you guys have some that you'd like to share, and it'd be great to hear it. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this beautiful weekend. Hopefully it'll clear up here and wherever you are. So until next Friday, enjoy your weekend and week, and keep asking my favorite question: how does it get any better than this? And then stay in that blissful question of, I wonder. Much love, friends. Sending you a namaste, and enjoy your week. Okay, bye.